if anything, I think they should I think they should illegalize being topless for men too, because
You think that? You think they should do that?
because I read this in another article that some men lactate, and some men have larger breasts than some women. That's a fact. But somehow being a woman makes you,
Yeah.
it's illegal to show your breasts. I mean, you
Well,
can,
if you're a fat guy and you have flabby breasts yourself, then you might want to like be ashamed of that and not want to show that when you're on the beach, and you're going to conceal that. You're going to wear a shirt even if you're sweating yourself to death. So that is kind of being ashamed of your chest. While some women who think their breasts are ugly will like wear a bra at the very least or some sort of bikini thing on the beach,
yeah.
uh, no matter how hot it gets. I think that's pretty much the same thing, but I'm not sure whether we should prohibit for men to do that.
I mean, if people like governments and shit don't want to legalize being topless for women, they might as well, illegalize being it for men, because it's the same thing. I mean, in my eyes, it's the same thing seeing a topless woman or seeing a topless man, but it's not the very same thing, because I actually enjoy looking at topless women.
Yeah.
And, if this were, as I said, it was respected or accepted. Sorry, 100 years ago, we wouldn't see any difference. And if it was
I guess
opposite,
not.
if the male chest would
Yeah.
be a sort of, how do you say it, sore subject or something like that, it would be illegal to run around topless being a man, and women or straight women and homosexual. I'm not even going to go there. You get what I mean.
Yeah.
They would actually be aroused by looking at a bare male chest,
Yes. And the
because
point is, I can understand that people are going to say to this, well, there wouldn't be any reason for men to obstruct view of their chests. But when you think about it, there's not really a reason for women to be obstructing their
no,
chests, as opposed to the reasons for men, right? I mean,
because
if
the
it
only
gives you
way,
pleasure, of
you know,
course.
yes, people are saying like, breasts should be obstructed because their breasts are like saggy sacks of fun and stuff like that, and because they are
Yeah.
breasts, and what they define breast is that there are actually two balls or sacks or whatever that's hanging out from, it's sticking out. When they wear a shirt, when
Yeah.
they wear clothes, you can see them through their clothes. You can see the contours of it, and that's what, because they are breasts. Breasts are huge lumps that, or not
If
huge, but
people
lumps at least.
if people keep calling them with words that kind of bring out the sexual nature in them, it's not ever going to be legalized universally for people to expose them, for women to expose them.
And
Not at all, I'm quite sure.
when you said that thing about the burqa earlier, I was thinking like, yeah, what if it was legal to run around with exposed breasts in those countries? I would imagine a whole lot of executions.
I suppose so, yeah. Now, here's something else I came up with. And this is on breastnotes.com, in case you're...
Sorry, that address, I don't know what.
There's something funny to that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just relevant to the. I just read it.
Okay, so it's a really long page full of lots of facts, but fortunately, they've consolidated the most important things in small pink little paragraph concealers. Uh, is a bra good or bad for your breasts? Like, I'm going into the medical reasons here. Like, is it actually necessary for people to wear a bra? And by bra, with bra, I also include bikini top, right?
Oh yeah.
Because when
So
it's really hot, you're gonna it's basically the same thing, right? So
yeah.
is a bra a good or bad thing for your breasts? Medically, neither. There is no medical reason to wear a bra, so the decision is yours based on your personal comfort and aesthetics. And that's a very important part, aesthetics, right? Whether you have always worn a bra or have always gone braless, age and breastfeeding will naturally cause your breasts to sag. I think it's very important.
So
Like there's this old wives' tale that goes around the world. You wouldn't believe it that women always think that if they wear a bra, their breast won't sag. At least, definitely not as much.
I thought
And I
you
think this
said.
is why women teach their daughters to wear a bra, even though it doesn't really matter. But if it's comfortable, then you should do it.
So
I
there
don't
are
know. I'm not a
actually
woman, but yeah.
no side effects or anything by wearing or not wearing a bra. I've
According
heard.
to this medical analysis website, apparently not. And this has
I've
been analyzed by. I can't. I'm going to have to read the entire thing, which I will not do to find out who researched this.
uh,
But it has. It is some university in America. I just don't know which one.
yeah. Yeah, because I've heard that, breasts get uneven when you're sleeping with a bra, for example.
Oh, really? I
I
didn't know
don't
that.
know if that's fact. No idea,
Maybe it's also an alewives. I don't know.
I don't, because it makes sense. I mean, if you blockade your arm, preventing it to grow or stopping it to grow, it will grow slower than the other one, so you'll have like a longer arm than the other one, right?
Is that actually the case
I
then?
don't know. It might
Um,
be. I'm not a researcher or like a human anatomy. It seems logical.
it does seem
It's
logical,
like when
but
you
I'm not
take
sure
a
it's the case.
kitten and grow it, make it grow inside a bottle or something. It will be shaped like a bottle.
I suppose, yeah, I guess. Even though it's really unlikely that that's gonna be a survivable condition for the kid.
I know.
So here's a quote from Dr. Susan Love's breast book. That's her name, Dr. Susan Love. Um, Wearing a bra has no medical necessity whatsoever. That's a single quote. Another quote is, except for the women who. Okay, so there's like a block of text between that, but they omitted this. So, except for the women who find bras especially comfortable or uncomfortable, the decision to wear or not to wear one is purely aesthetic or emotional. So, if you
Sentimental
want,
even.
I guess, yeah. If you perhaps I think by emotional, the greatest extent you could go by that, unless you have some really personal reason emotionally to wear that, which I think is going to be extremely rarely, is basically if your mom taught you to do it, you're going to do it. You take away things that you're taught, and you start wearing a bra usually when you're about 12, 13 years old, I suppose.
Yeah, as I guess you
So
get tits.
yeah, you still live at home then with your parents, so you're going to do what your mom tells you, right?
Yeah,
And then there's another quote that says, if you don't enjoy it and job or social pressures don't force it onto you, don't bother. Well, I'm going to guess, I don't know anything about a job really, but if you're running a lot in your job, or if you're basically in athletics as your
yeah,
hobby or perhaps your job, then you're going to have to consider it.
because they're
Definitely.
jumping around a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I
And
think
that
we're,
brings us back to,
yeah,
people looking at them as sexual objects. And they're going to be like, look at those jiggling around.
yeah,
That
they're,
kind of thing.
yeah, that is exactly, and people like that.
It's a vicious
Even
circle.
though if they're covered up, they like seeing
Mm.
breasts bounce around, and that has been around for uh, every year that we have existed, at least.
Yeah,
I believe
like
at least that every
500
male,
times more.
yeah, I believe that every male human in history has had, or maybe not the very most primal humans, but they have had some sort of enjoyment or pleasure from seeing breasts jump around.
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Like,
Some of them, at least.
yeah, like at the very start, I'm imagining the ancient Egyptians and people all around the world around those days. I'm imagining them. I don't really think that they could be, not thinking particularly
No, I
enjoyableness.
don't think there was a whole lot of sex thing back then. Uh,
There was a whole lot of sexting all over the times, actually.
yeah, but was
But
it so? It's like, yeah, I fuck you, you bring my child, oog oog boog. It wasn't like, oh man, your tits, not man, but shit.
we get it.
Yeah, it's like,
Me
ah,
and the
your
audience, we get
breasts,
it.
your breasts, they're so like round and good to touch or whatever.
I think one of the main reasons why men think breasts are quite attractive, and I'm not speaking for myself here, but I think I'm going to be speaking for most people, even those who don't realize it quite yet.
Yeah,
Um, People like breasts, like men like breasts, I'll put it like that, because they don't have them themselves, and it's nice to touch something that's not attached to their own body and
yeah.
kind of feel like how often do you think when you're with your female partner, what would it be like as opposed to being with your male partner? Because I know you. No, just joking. Uh, how often do you think, what would it be like if I had breasts as well?
I have actually thought of that, but I
Oh,
don't
I
think
thought you were
about
going
it.
to be like, I actually have breasts.
No. I don't have breasts. Or yeah, I do actually because I'm fat as hell. But
No,
I'm not lactating. But
man.
no, but really, I have imagined that. But I also imagined it would be weird as shit because I wouldn't run around touching my own breast.